mountain that's too tall to climb.
Yam slam! Yam slam!
All right, guys, we got another week of WWE Evolve. We are in the 10th week of Evolve. Stay tuned because there's a lot of stuff that went on this week on Evolve at the red carpet ring.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we're here at the red carpet ring. We will talk about WWE Evolve 2025 Week 10 recap. We're going to the review of Week 10 of Evolve. Get the likes as we come into the ring. Here's a quick recap of everything that happened on this particular episode. We had a town hall meeting of announcement of brand new championships of WWE Women's and Men's Championships and others as follows. These are the matches that happened. Nikita versus Stevie. Wendy Choo defeated Summer. Kylie Ray attacked Wendy Choo afterwards. Lexis King made an appearance on Evolve. Shawn Legacy interrupts. Keanu Carter and Harlan Lewis fall backstage. Draco Knox defeated Drake. Then, of course, the main event of Nikita Lyons, she defeated Kendal Grey. But these are the this is all the stuff that happened this week. This is the match, one of the matches of the night. First match was this match, Wendy versus Summer Sorrell. This is her first match on WWE Evolve. So this was the first match they advertised. Great story, which I'll get into in a second. Then, of course, the main event, we have the brand new member of Evolve, Nikita Lyons from NXT. She went on one-on-one against Kendal Grey, first time ever. So that's also an interesting story there. But with that being said, let's continue on. Let's start off the show of WWE Evolve of what happened. Now, Stevie Turner, the Prime Minister of Evolve, she came out. She said she had a big announcement to make. She said for the past several weeks, she's been seeing both men and women of Evolve doing their thing, working hard at matches, whether it's tag team or singles matches. But it's about time to reward them. So there will be both brand new championships for the brand, as I've been stating for weeks. We finally got them unveiled. We got the men's and women's Evolve championships. The men's in black, of course. Women's have the white background, but you know that's how it is. The belts look solid. But she announced who are going to be contending for these championships. Now, for the women, she said have been putting to work. It's supposed to be a four-way. The three women that are already there is Kelly Armstrong, Wendy Choo, and Kendal Grey. There will be a elimination match to determine who the fourth woman would be. Whoever wins that of the four women, there will be the brand new women's Evolve champion. Now, for the men's side, she did announce that Shawn Legacy, he's the first participant to be in a four-way match. Several weeks, there'll be elimination matches for the other three men that will compete. And, of course, it's like the women. Whoever wins that match will be the brand new men's Evolve champion. Now, while she announced this, big fights broke out. Keanu Carter, we saw him and Harlem. They was fighting against Swipe Right and the rest of the other men. So it was a brawl fight out. Even though that was not the only fight, we had another fight here. The women got it out too. We saw Kendal Grey and Kelly Armstrong get into it. Both of these women were going back and forth. All the women had to break both these women up. It was just getting wild. And when we thought it was over while the women were being broken up, we saw Kelly Armstrong. She broke free. She attacked Kendal Grey's leg. Her knee was attacked. And that messed her up as she was leading to the main event against Nikita Lyons. This was great. This was a great way to start Evolve. Brand new championships. Now, meanwhile, we got to go to the first match of the night. Summer Sorrell, if I said her name right, she was being interviewed by Chewy Martinez. And he was asking her, how does it feel to be on Evolve, have your first match? She said she had to admit she felt kind of nervous with her first match being against Wendy Choo. You know, Wendy Choo's that psychotic, dark character. She has been undefeated on Evolve as well. And we know that Wendy Choo just recently defeated Kylie Ray twice. So she came out first, Summer Sorrell. I guess she has a happy-go-lucky character. She did a split in there. So this was a good way to introduce her to WWE Evolve. Some fans high-fived her in the crowd and all that stuff like that. But we knew that once she had her entrance theme done, that we was going to see Wendy Choo come out, and Wendy Choo, we know she do not play around. Now, once she also came out, and first they had their match. Now, beginning the match here, it clearly saw that Wendy Choo had the experience and a full advantage over Summer Sorrell. Summer Sorrell had no idea what she getting herself into. She tried everything she could. She tried to lock up with Wendy Choo. She tried to go toe-to-toe with her, but Wendy pretty much had her on every angle you could think of. Inexperience really showed in this match because at the end of the match, the result of this match, it ended up showing that Wendy Choo tapped out Summer Sorrell, gaining the victory for herself. Wendy Choo is still undefeated on Evolve and one of the women that will be competing for the WWE Women's Evolve Championship. So Wendy Choo wins the first match of the night on Evolve. However, she couldn't celebrate long. We saw Kylie Rae come out. She's still vengeful from last week. She came out and she attacked Wendy Choo, super kicked her, and she was going to get some more Wendy Choo. Wendy Choo, however, got out of the ring. She saw Kylie Rae. It's not the same Kylie Rae that we know to be happy and smiley. This Kylie Rae, it's like Wendy brought out a different side of her ever since that last match they had with the teddy bear. So we saw that, and then Kylie Rae just sitting there looking upset, and we're going to get another match potentially between Kylie Rae and Wendy Choo. Like I said before, this feud is long far from over. They will have, I would say, one last match. In my prediction, Kylie Rae's going to defeat Wendy Choo. Wendy's not going to beat her 3 times in a row. I'm just saying. Now, after that segment was over, we had a special appearance. Lexis King from NXT, the former NXT Heritage Cup winner, champion. He came on the scene. He came out the car. So it was surprising to see him on Evolve. I didn't know what was going on. I knew that some people from NXT would show up, but, some weeks here and there. But I didn't know he would show up. But he did come out to the ring. He talked about how NXT is his area. That's his show. And he said if anybody from Evolve want to come over, cross over to NXT, they're going to have to go through him. Then we saw Super Sean Legacy come out. He talked about Lexis King. He said that Super Sean Legacy trying to make a name for himself. He's been working hard. And next thing you know, these two, they had a choice of words back and forth. Long story short, these two have agreed to have a match next week on Evolve. So Lexis King will have his first match on Evolve next week. They shook hands. They agreed on it. Surprisingly, there was no sneak attacks from Lexis King. There was no back and forth. They shook hands. And Lexis King, he said some crazy stuff to Sean Legacy afterwards. But other than that, that was the end of that particular segment. So we're going to get a match next week. I guess it's going to definitely help both men. Who knows? Maybe the main event for all we know. Now, later on, we did see that Kendal Grey is being held backstage. She's still out. And Carly Bray asked, is she okay? Now, it's questionable. Is Kendal Grey be able to continue her match later that night against Nikita Lyons? She said she's ready to go. So Kendal Gray's saying nothing's going to stop her. And she wants to do it alone, too. Meanwhile, we had a match of Drake Knox versus Jackson Drake. Jackson Drake of the Vanity Project. So these two had a match 1-on-1. Jackson Drake was escorted by the Vanity Project. This was a good, solid match back and forth. Wasn't too much offense from Draco Knox. It's like most of it came from Jackson. He had a little offense there, but it was mostly Jackson that had the offense. Draco, he tried some things at attempt. He had countered some moves from Jackson Drake, but still was not enough. Jackson Drake still was he was on top of Draco the whole time. He got him, but I know he got him with his finisher in the corner with that kick. I forgot the name of his finisher. Meanwhile, he got him 1, 2, 3. Jackson Drake defeats Draco Knox in this match. So they steady building up the Vanity Project. They still building Jackson Drake. So who knows? Jackson Drake may be one of the 4 men to compete for that championship. Who knows? I'm just stating. But other than that, after that match was over, we did get backstage Javier Bernal, if he was interviewed by Chuy Martinez. It's funny, this stuff is taped because this man has been released as part of the budget cuts recently. Now, he said he wants to be a different Javier. He's evolved to a new character. Meanwhile, we saw Isgal came out. He said doesn't matter who Javi or what character you are, you're still not going to do nothing. So these two are going to have a match probably next week at some point or whenever they do. Now, after that segment, we saw Lexus K come out. He met with the Vanity Project. He gave Vanity Project their props. Vanity Project gave him their props. And Vanity Project offered Lexus K, if he needs some help or assistance of any matter, reach out to him. I think Zeta Steel said slide into the DMs. Meanwhile, we head on to the main event of the show. The main event is Nikita Lyons, the Lioness, versus Kendal Grey. Not 100%. As you can see, she was limping to the ring. She had a brace. She had some tape on her knee. So she didn't look as confident as she normally do in Nikita Lyons. Boy, did she capitalize off of Kendal Grey not being 100%. We saw this throughout the match. Kendal Grey, she had her moments where she could get back, but she kept hopping around. Nikita Lyons had more advantage over Kendal Grey than anything else. And Nikita Lyons was slowly taking her time, taking advantage of that. And she did her thing. I mean, it was okay main event. Nothing to go crazy over, but it was a great sell by Kendal Grey because she got, taken out by Kelly Armstrong at the beginning of the show. But Kendal Grey, she had some near falls, didn't mean anything. She tried to get Nikita Lyons, but Nikita Lyons will not held up. She kept going. And the turning point of the match was when Kendal Grey tried to go up at the turnbuckle. She slipped and fell. Nikita Lyons got her, pounced on her. And that pretty much was the end of that match. Nikita Lyons defeats Kendal Grey in the main event. 1, 2, 3. Nikita Lyons wins her first match on Evolve. And she is reportedly the new member of Evolve. She got demoted down from NXT to Evolve during the time of the budget cuts, in case you guys didn't know. Afterwards, Kelly Armstrong would not hold up. She came out. She attacked Kendal Grey some more. Kept attacking that leg and that knee, giving her that word because she know that she wants that championship. And Kelly Armstrong said that she's willing to do whatever it takes to get to that championship and take on all competitors. And she did not stop. They had to pull Kelly Armstrong off of Kendal Grey. She just held her up. Kelly Armstrong, she got that strength, though, and it showed. But other than that, though, that was pretty much the end on Evolve of this week. Kelly Armstrong still tall. Now, she had the officials come in, break it up, referees, officials, you know what. But that pretty much closed out the show. Kendal Grey was on the ground, and Kelly Armstrong was held back. So we're going to see what's going to happen next week on Evolve. But other than that, though, I thought this was a good ending, and it made Kelly look stronger and stronger because she always says that she's different. So that's the case there. All right, let's go over the review of Evolve. A lot of stuff happened on this week of Evolve. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. We had appearance from NXT. We had a big announcement. We had a lot of stories that are building up. So a lot of stuff going on. But let's go over what's going to happen for next week. We got one-on-one Lexus King versus Super Sean Legacy. They'll have one match next week on Evolve. Then another match that's announced for next week's episode, we have Keanu Carver and Harlem Lewis teaming up again. This time they team up against Gallus. I'm trying to see how these two going to work with each other. These guys do not get along. And I'm talking about Harlem and Keanu. Last but not least, we do have, as I stated, Javier Bernal versus Isgal. So we'll see how that goes along too. But there are 3 matches announced for next week for Evolve. So we'll see how things go. Evolve's definitely evolving. They're not lying about that. But other than that, though, that's all I have regarding WWE Evolve 2025 Week 10 recap. We are going to a review of Week 10 of Evolve. Evolve Crazy's been 2 months now. You guys let me know what you think of the show. Check out the content here, Red Carpet Ring. Until then, guys, you already know what it is. It's OUT.